Hi, and welcome. This is a video I've made for level 1 yoga students. So you might have been studying with me or you're wanting to start the practice of yoga. This is a good place to start. I'm going to begin today in a comfortable place on the back. I'm going to move the camera so that you can see the entire mat. Just to let you know, I want you to have your viewing kind of close by so that you can pause it, because the whole point of this practice is to really touch into how you feel internally and not so much about really quote unquote doing these postures or doing them to the best of your ability. We all have to kind of meet what we are and who we are on our mat at any given moment. And so it's best for you to be kind of touching into how you feel and doing what feels good in your body and in your energy, rather than trying to perform the postures. We're really trying to get into who am I and how does my mind react? I mean, the whole point of this practice is really to help answer those questions. So let's begin on our back, completely on the back, like so. Give a nice big bend into your knees. I'm going to tilt this so that you can see. Big bend into your knees and completely relax to the earth. Here's where we might want to touch the breath with your hands to belly and to your heart. To take a moment just to recalibrate our awareness and our focus to things that are happening in the body. Always easy to start with the breath. And so just become aware of maybe your need to shape the breath this early in our practice. Just allowing the breath to come and go as it will. And following the out breath is another beautiful practice, just allowing yourself to follow that out breath all the way to the very last molecule. And watching the in-breath just spring back automatically. You're grounded in the sacrum, that flat bony part at the very base of your spine. And see if you can bring awareness and attention to how your feet are plugged into the earth. Shoulder blades flat on the mat. Now let's begin just a little bit of movement here. Pressing both hands into your thighs and lifting your tailbone up off of the earth. So there's a pushing and a pulling. And then an exhale, complete relax. Inhale, push. Exhale, kick the tailbone up. And everything down. Last time. Push, pick the tailbone up, and everything down to the mat. So bring your knees up into your belly. Hold on to your knees and give yourself just a couple of circles here, just a little bit of a sacral spine release. And then hands out in T pattern or cactus arms. Let your feet and have your legs just fall over to the right-hand side and settle in. So just feeling pretty heavy in the left shoulder. And maybe your gaze comes over your left hand. Again, if this feels good, please feel free to pause the video and just be here, breathing into the side body. Once again, just feeling how the breath works in the body in this shape. We'll come up to the center and take this shape. A supine twist is what it's called on the other side. Again, the whole point here is to relax into the shape. If you'd like to take the twist into your cervical spine, into your neck, go ahead and bring the gaze over your right hand. Again, feel free to pause the video and just take this as long as you'd like to take it. And then back to the center. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then we will either rock up and back along the spine to a seated posture, or you can just find yourself rolling over and pressing yourself up into a seat. Now here's where most of us would benefit from sitting on a pillow, the edge of the pillow to be exact. So just finding your way into a cross-legged position. And if you find that your knees are way up off the earth, it might be okay just to bring your feet out in front of you like so. Wherever you are, let's just find a sense of sort of sitting up tall in the spine and letting the shoulder blades drift down the back. Let's begin with the cervical spine once more. So bringing your left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder. And then just try this a couple of times. Some of us hear things in our neck as we do this shape. Others of us feel a tension in the back of the neck, gentle tugging where those trigger points are. And then back up to center. Sit up really tall in the crown of the head so you feel engaged in your lower body and shoulder blades coming down the back. Let's go ahead and just test the shoulder blades. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then carefully place them down the body. 2 more times like that. There you go, just release. Last time. And release. Now some instinctual movement. So just round and round maybe with the torso, round and round. Just trying to get sort of good and juicy into the hips. And now let's switch out your favorite cross. Find the awkward cross. A little bit more round and round. And again, just listening here with how things feel in the body. Whether they feel tight or tired. Whether there's a place where you kind of back off or hesitate. Practicing non-judgment, just a sense of everything is good. Everything is exactly as it should be. And I'm just working to understand. Hands high to the sky. Dropping your right hand down to the earth and taking a deep side stretch towards the right. Sit up tall in the spine. Feel both sit bones on your pillow or on the earth. And feel a long stretch here from the left hip to the left fingers. Inhale, both hands high. Now left hand down and right hand up and over. Feel free to bend into your elbow, get a little bit deeper. And then both hands high to the sky. Let's go ahead and spider tip fingers out in front. And then just let everything kind of hang out round through the spine. Once you've gotten to your edge, meaning that you just feel like you can't go any farther, flat hands on the earth and then press yourself back round through the spine. Again, giving it as many deep breaths as you'd like to here, maybe a little bit of movement. When you're ready to come out, spider tip fingers back behind you now. So pinch the shoulder blades together and look up at the sky without tilting your chin. We want to keep the chin kind of tucked in towards the neck, but bring the drishti, that focal point, up to the sky. Give it another full deep breath here and out. And then back to neutral spine, hands high to the sky. We're going to take a twist to the right. So left hand to the right knee and right hand back behind you. Sit up tall. Both hands high and now twisting to the left. Once again, the whole idea is just to be here, not to crank your body, not to feel as though you have to take it farther, but just to investigate how things feel as all of those connections are becoming apparent in the body. Now back to neutral spine, we'll come into our table posture. So you can always use your pillow under your knees if you have tight, tired, or sore knees. Feel free just to bring your knees onto the pillow. If you don't need it, just keeping it handy. So from here, table posture, hands underneath the shoulder blades and knees directly underneath your hips. Take a look back and just making sure that you can't see your big toe mounds through your knees. From here, a couple of cow cats. So on inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest and chin, lift your tailbone high to the sky. Exhale, round through the spine. 2 more times on your own breath. And now back to neutral spine. Lift your right foot back behind you. Keep the foot flexed, toes pointed straight down, and left hand out in front of you, thumb faces up. From here, just surf those little bits of energy. Pull the belly in and up. Exhaling, knee and elbow meet under the body. Inhale it back out, 2 different directions. Exhale, knee and elbow meet. Inhale, out. Exhale, knee and elbow meet. Inhale, out. Place the hand back on to your mat and your right foot parallel to the back of the mat. Get your belly engaged and lift your right hand high to the sky for your modified side plank. Now you can stay right here if you feel pretty stable in the belly, maybe lifting that foot up off of the earth. Flex the foot, engage through your quads. With control, foot down to the earth, back to your table. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and chin. Exhale, round through the spine. Last time like that. Back to your neutral spine. Lifting your left foot back behind you. Keep the toes face down. Engage through your belly. Flex into the foot. And right hand out in front. Thumb faces up. On your exhale, knee and elbow meet. Inhale it back out. Exhale, knee and elbow meet. Inhale it back out. Exhale, knee and elbow meet. Inhale it back out and replace the hand to the mat. Find your lifted foot parallel to the back of the mat and lift up with your left hand. Once you feel pretty square and stable, pull the belly into this so you can perhaps lift the foot up off of the earth. With control, the foot down, the hand down. Keep the foot back. Now bring the other foot back to meet it, plank. Deep, full breath in. Drop your knees to the earth. Find your half plank. So your belly scoops in and up, shoulder blades down the back. Now bend your elbows so that they face straight back and hover them at your rib cage. All the way down for your back bend. So light in the hands. Toes are pointed and facing back behind you. Deep, full breath in, lifting up the chest and chin. And then exhaling back to your child's pose. Keep your hands out in front of you, really engage through the arms. Now curl your toes under and lift yourself back, downward facing dog. Now, for most of us who are brand new to yoga, this is not a resting pose. And let's take our feet out as far as we can, just so it gives a little bit of space here. Bend into the knees. Allow your hamstrings to come into this posture without too much strength. So the whole idea here is just to work with the sensitivity and not to press it so much that we are in too much discomfort. So from here, either walking your hands back to meet your feet or your feet up to meet your hands, whichever feels good to you. Let's just take a long, slow walk to the top of your mat or the back of your mat, wherever you are. Now from here, this is where it's so nice to have these blocks. Blocks bring the floor a little bit closer to us. Again, you can see I have a nice big bend into my knees. I have tight hamstrings and tight hips. So nice to kind of just come into this practice slowly. I also advocate the use of a little bit of a sway. Sometimes it's nice just to hold opposite elbows and let your head and neck hang heavy here. Again, use this opportunity to draw attention inward. Now a deep bend into the knees, stacking vertebra on top of vertebra, working your way up into standing. So from here, in our standing posture, let's work on mountain pose. I'm going to face the camera even though you're at the top of your mat. From here, just really engage through your feet on the mat. I'm going to move this back a little bit so you can see my feet too. Okay. Feet onto the mat. And you're totally plugged in. So let's really think about inner thigh strength, belly strength, shoulder blades down the back. From here, hands high to the sky. Now drop your right hand down to your thigh and take a steep side stretch over to the right. Both hands high to the sky. side stretching to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take a forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen so body becomes an L shape. Exhale, forward folding. Again, feel free to keep a bend into the knees. Now here's where these blocks are really kind of nice. Hold onto the blocks and step your right foot back to your lunge. Then bring your hands to the sides of your left foot. So outside, inside, left foot. My shoulder is right on top of my wrist. And this could also work with spider tip fingers if those things aren't available to you. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, drop the knee to the earth, right where it is. So we're not going to be right on top of the knee. We're going to be long in the lunge, dropping the knee to the earth. Here's where we can pad the knee if you need to, okay? And roll yourself up into your low crescent lunge. Now, toes can be curled under or toes can be flat. We're going to have to use the belly to engage and lift. Shoulder blades stay down the back. You can bring your hands to the front thigh or up above you. Wherever you can be, let's just draw attention and awareness to these hip flexors on the right hand side. Each inhale, we're lengthening and finding space. Each exhale, just sort of gentle forward movement of the body towards the front of your mat. Again, you're listening for your edge, what you need to find out from your body today. Give it another full deep breath in, and then exhale, frame out the foot. This time, let's drop our right hand to the earth, left hand high to the sky. So we're taking a twist, shoulder blades down the back, look up at your hand, give it one more full deep breath, and then bring the hand down to the mat. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee up off of the earth, and we're going to step ourselves forward to a standing forward fold once again. Inhale, keep your back nice and flat as you come all the way up, reach high. And now let's bring the left hand down to the thigh. Deep side stretch. Left hand side, see if you can stay balanced in the feet. Both hands high. Right hand down, up and over. Both hands high. Exhaling, taking a forward fold. Inhale, once again, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Grab onto the blocks or your hands to the floor, find your left foot back long in the lunge. So right here, just engaging. So see how much longer and stronger you can get in the back leg. Dropping your knee to the earth and rolling yourself up once more, low crescent lunge. Hands can come to the front knee. So pressing the knee away, opening out into this left hip flexor. Deep inhale, spaciousness. Exhale, feel just a little bit more of a forward propulsion. Keep your belly engaged. See if you can really bring more strength and tone to the inner thighs. Now drop your hands down to the earth. So left hand down to the earth, right hand high to the sky. Take yourself a twist. And then everything down to the mat. Pop the knee up. Send your foot back to your plank. So once we're here in plank, dropping knees to the earth, finding half plank. Now bending into your elbows. This is called Ardha Chaturanga, into your baby cobra. So move those feet back and Get engaged into the inner thighs, lift up into the heart, and then back to your child's pose. Keep your hands out, active in the arms, big and broad between your shoulder blades. Curl your toes under. Let's lift hips up and back, downward facing dog. Once again, feel free to bring your feet out a little bit wider to get kind of loose in the hips. And then your choice one more time, walking your hands back to meet your feet or your feet to meet your hands. Forward folding. So let's find a little bit of a twist and some movement on the mat. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, let something go. Really deep bend into the knees all the way up into standing. Head and neck come up last. So let's try a little bit of balance and a little bit of standing postures here. So in standing postures, the whole idea is to engage through the belly. So find your mountain posture one more time at the top of your mat. Shoulder blades down the back, head is on right, everything in a line. So everything is aligned by pulling the belly into it, pulling a little bit of glute tone, feeling inner thighs engaged, bringing all four corners of the feet into the mat. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, find a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Just a reminder to keep yourself long in the side body and fold. Now send your right foot back to your warrior one foot pattern. Back foot 45-degree angle to the top of your mat. Left knee is bent right over left ankle. Place your back heel firmly into the mat. Really try to get straight in that back foot. Touch your hips. They are pointed straight for the front of your mat. Deep, full breath here. And out. One more full deep breath in. And out. Playing with balance today. So as you feel the belly engaging on your exhale, let's bring your back foot up and hold on to your knee, or just let it be here in space. Let's hold here, belly, everything is engaged, just like mountain pose. We just have one knee up towards your body, in line with your head. And bring the foot down to the earth, mountain pose. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Now, left foot back, warrior one. Rising up, warrior one. Touch your hips, they're straight ahead. Keep your front knee over your front ankle. Give yourself a moment just to notice what's going on. And then we're coming into stork one more time. So just lean it forward, engage through your standing leg. Lift your left knee up your left foot off of the earth, left knee in line with left hip. Let's give it a couple of breaths here. And then slow and steady back to your mountain pose. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Step it back with your right foot And let's come into a wide-legged forward fold towards the left part of the mat. So here again, great place to use blocks, especially if you feel that you're way up off of the earth. But let's bring a nice wide space between the two legs, working on finding the fold here from the hip crease. All right, now hands can be down on the blocks, they can be down on the earth, you can have your blocks at any level you like them, but let's really feel as though all four corners of each foot totally into the mat. And then allow your torso just to hang heavy wherever it wants to. And let's work on feeling the breath in the back body. And at the same time, really grounded into the feet, strong and stable. We're going to come up in 2 breaths. So first inhale, just bring your torso up parallel. Exhaling here, and then inhale all the way back up. Let's pivot on the right heel so that the right toes are towards the front of your mat. So from here, trying to bring your right knee over your right ankle. Belly is still engaged, your back foot, back leg still working. Hands out to the sides for warrior 2. On your inhale, reach your right hand high to the sky. Feel that side stretch just like we do at the beginning of practice. And now exhale, bringing your right elbow to your right knee and left hand up and over. Again, side stretching, just a different way of doing it. Back up to center, and straighten out your right knee. Turn your right toes towards the left side of your mat, and we're going to try this on the left side. Again, making observations in your body. One place might be easier for you to steer your hips towards the left side wall. The other, maybe not so much. Press into both feet. Find your warrior 2. Let's reverse the warrior. And on exhale, extended side angle. Give it another full deep breath here. And coming all the way back up. Straighten out your left leg, left toes towards the left side of your mat. Really engage, and then let's begin sort of walking our feet more into the midline of the mat. Take a look down. Toes are now out towards the short ends of your mat, towards those corners, and we're trying to bring our knees directly over your ankles. Belly stays engaged and tailbone down. Shoulders aren't doing this. They're down the back. And then let's just take a sway from side to side. And we'll play with goddess now. So bring your elbows and your shoulders in line. On inhale, straighten out the arms, straighten out the legs. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale it up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale it up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale it up. And let's turn our right toes towards the front of the mat. Bring your hands down and find your lunge. So you might have to wiggle that back toe back, back, back. This time, pressing both hands into the mat. Lift your right foot up off of the mat and send it back to your downward facing dog. So once again, pedaling out into your dog. This time, let's bring our ourselves up into our plank pose. So everything needs to be in a line. Shoulders, hips, and heels, one diagonal line. Keep your head on straight, gentle tuck of the chin, drop your knees to the earth, lower yourself, hovering elbows at your rib cage, and then all the way down for your back bend. Exhale yourself back to your child's pose. Let's give it 3 full deep breaths in your child. So really feel the breath in your back body here. All right. We will come into a couple of hip openers. So once again, have your pillow handy. Let's go ahead and sit on the pillow. I'm going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to take a seated posture called Janu Sirsasana. We're going to do it a couple of different ways. So bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. I'm going to move the camera so you can see me. All right. So right foot inside left thigh. Really engage that foot. So let's try not to pronate the foot. We feel it right smack dab on the middle of the heel, toes facing towards the nose. So keep your foot flexed. Let's feel grounded in both sit bones. And it's not passive what's happening in this hip. So feel as though you're pressing your right knee into the earth. Hands high, and then folding here from the hip crease. We're just going to bring ourselves down and then let your hands fall wherever they may be. And press yourself back into your sit bones. So there's a sense of pressing back but lengthening through the spine, shoulder blades down the back, just taking this shape again to your edge. Doesn't need to go far, just to your edge. So let's come all the way back up. Once again, hands high. This time, let's move our body so that it's facing the bent leg. Keep these toes pointed up towards your nose. And now bring your left hand down to the inside of your thigh or your calf, wherever it feels good. And let's take a side stretch, feeling the length in the right side body. So there's a movement of the heart out underneath your elbow. And you're feeling just this sort of sense of torque from the arm to the inside of your left thigh. Come all the way back up. Bring your left hand back behind you, your right hand back behind you, up onto your right knee, and find another side stretch here. All the way back down. We'll switch out the legs and try this once again. Engage through the leg. Find your sit bones plugged in. Hands high. Take a forward fold. Once you get to your edge, press it back and see if you can find a little bit more length in your back body. And now all the way up, hands high again. Twist your torso to face the bent knee. Bring your hand down to the inside of your right leg and left hand up and over. Once again, heart is shining towards the side wall and you're long, long, long in the side body. Then all the way back up, placing your hand back behind you, up onto your left leg, left knee, really big side stretch, all the way down. Let's remove the block or the blanket or the pillow, coming once more down to the back and bringing the soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. Now, for some of us with really tight hips, this is hard, so it's nice to place maybe a block underneath, just so you get some sensation without way too much discomfort. For those of us with lower back issues, you might find that the sacrum now has kind of popped a little bit up off of the earth. So just being careful, mindful about the body here. Again, if this feels really good, I want you to feel free to pause the video now and just to stay with the sensations, maybe even touching your breath a little bit more. And now folding the knees up. Let's find both soles of the feet onto the earth, the knees directly over your ankles. This time, let's press up into our belly. So crunching your belly, lifting your tailbone up off the earth, lifting your sit bones high, hands to the sides of the body. And again, we're looking for that diagonal, the engagement of the glutes, the feeling of the breath coming into the belly, and the sense of exhale allowing the lower part of the body to find the strength in the midline. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, let your tailbone be the last thing down. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee for your supine pigeon. So we can just find our way here. If this is enough of a hip opener, you feel some sensation, let's go ahead and just bring some awareness to what you're doing. So there's always a sense that the knee is moving away from you, that the sacral spine is flat on the earth. Keep this foot flexed. If you need a little bit more sensation here, you can always grab for the inside of your left thigh and pull your foot closer to your body. For those of us with easy walls handy, or walls that are handy, you can always put your foot up on the wall, and then that way you can completely release your shoulder blades to the earth. Again, this feels good. You want to take it a little longer. Hit pause now. And then we'll take it on the other side. So now left ankle on top of right knee. And again, just, everybody has two completely different sides. So let's just refine for where we are, what we need to be doing. Maybe taking it a little farther. Feel free to hit pause if this feels really good. We'll come completely out of this posture and find our way into Shavasana. So one way to think about Shavasana is it is as important a pose as anything else that we've done in this practice. It allows us to completely relax. Some of the tight and tired places that we feel in the body are places where our mind is just churning, and we don't realize it, but we're finding tension in the body and holding on to it. So allow yourself complete and total relaxation to the earth. If you need a pillow underneath your head, for sure, grab it. If you feel as though you have a little bit of a tweakiness in the lower back, bring a bend into the knees, just like we started at the beginning of practice, or find blocks or a pillow underneath your knees. Now here's where I do want you to hit pause on this video and take a good 5 to 10 full minutes. You're worthy of it. You're worthy of complete and total release. Just think of how much the earth is supporting you and how much you've worked into the body. You deserve a rest. So thank you so much for joining me for this level 1 practice. Let me know what you think about it by giving it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with others. And if you need to know more about me, please feel free to look me up at lostandfoundyoga.com. Thanks all.